Hey guys, what's up? Charles here again. So today I wanted to answer a question that I get probably twice a day, which is how to get paid in US dollars in Canada. Because first of all, the US dollar is stronger than the Canadian dollar right now, and um, and then usually if you buy from China or your products from Asian countries, you're gonna pay your supplier in US dollars. So if you have to convert from Canadian dollar to US dollar, you're losing in the conversion rate. Okay, so to get paid in US dollars in Canada, there's there's not many ways. Okay, but you can either use a cross-border account with your bank. Now, the only ones that I know of who offer this service for personal accounts, okay, are RBC, TD, and BMO. Okay, so all these three offer the personal cross-border accounts. Now the fees I've looked up, they range from RBC starts at $9 a month. Actually, it starts at $4 a month, but um, usually the one you'll pick is the $9 one, and then TD is around $15 a month, but they actually waive the fees if you have a balance of $100 or more in the account, and then BMO starts at like $5 a month. So they're all fairly cheap to get paid in US dollar, because if you if you put in your banking info, your Canadian banking info in Amazon Seller Central, so Amazon will actually pay you in the currency of the country in which your bank is located. So if they see a routing number that's Canadian, they automatically gonna pay you in Canadian dollar. Okay, so in your Amazon Seller Central, they're gonna show you the balance they owe you in US dollar, and if you click on it, they're gonna show you the balance in Canadian dollar as well with the current exchange rate. Now, when they do that exchange rate, what happens is Amazon takes their cut, which is usually 3 or 3.5%. So it does add up quite a bit. Now, if you want to lower the overall loss on conversion and fees, you'll want to set up a cross-border account. So if you're not incorporated, then you're good to go with a personal cross-border account. Now, just talk to your accountant, make sure it's all good and that you can do it. And usually, when you try to set it up with the bank, you usually have to file in a little bit of paperwork, but it's it's pretty basic stuff. So these are the the three banks that offer the personal cross-border accounts. Okay, now if you're incorporated, I did my research. Personally, I use RBC because I've been with them for over 10 years now, personally, and with my business, my corporation for the last 3 years, I guess. Um, so I did a little bit more research to see if other companies, other banks offer business cross-border accounts, and it looks like RBC is the only one. So to me, if you're starting your online business and you have plans to grow it, which I think you should, and you'll get to a point where you'll probably want to incorporate. Just talk to your accountant. He's going to tell you when he thinks the best time would be. But so if you're going from a personal account to a business account, then you might as well start with the RBC personal account, in my opinion, just because if you're already with RBC, it's going to be much easier later on to link your RBC business account, cross-border account, and all of that. Okay, so how these banks work is, let's take RBC for example. So RBC is Royal Bank of Canada, and they're based in Canada. Now you can open a Canadian dollar account and a US dollar account in Canada. But even if that US dollar account, even if it's a US dollar account, but it's in Canada, um, you won't get paid the full amount by Amazon. Like, you'll get paid the full amount. Sorry, that's not what I meant. So the balance Amazon will owe you in US, then they convert it to Canadian dollars, taking their cut, 3%. And then when your bank receives it, if they receive it in the Canadian dollar account, then you'll receive that exact amount that Amazon showed you in Canadian dollars. But if you set it up in a US dollar account, then either it won't work. Sorry, I've never tried this, but either it won't work, and the bank's gonna send an error code to Amazon, or it's gonna work, and then your bank will receive it in Canadian dollars, and then they will convert it back to US dollars, taking their own cut. So now you're losing 3% with Amazon, and you're probably losing another 2, 3, 4% with your bank, which adds up a lot. Okay, in the beginning, that's what I did, and I figured I was losing close to $2,000 Canadian a month. So now, how the banks work if you use the cross-border account is RBC, so Royal Bank of Canada, they're in Canada, and then they have the RBC Bank. Okay, now this one, RBC Bank, is actually the one based in Georgia in the US. So when you open that up, they actually give you a US dollar account that is based in the US. So when you set it up in Amazon Seller Central, it's actually a US routing number and your US bank account. Okay, so then Amazon's going to pay you in US dollar in that account. And then what you can do is you can easily transfer that money, US dollar, to your US dollar account in Canada. Usually there's no fees. I know with RBC there's no fees, and with TD I'm not sure about BMO, but usually there's no fees to transfer that, and it's going to be the exact same amount. So that's what you want to do. And then when you pay your supplier, usually in US dollars, then it's much easier, right? Because you don't lose as much money, even if you pay whatever it is, $9 a month in fees for the bank account, then it's still definitely worth it, right? And the best way I found to send money overseas is wire transfers. With RBC, it's fairly easy. I just go to my local branch. I have my supplier's banking info. I gave it to them once, and then they can save it as a template. So then every time I go back, I just tell them, okay, well, just use this supplier, and they have all their banking info already stored in there. I just tell them the amount, and then that's it. They send it. It costs me about usually I think it's $33 US or so, and usually my supplier gets it next day or so. So I find that's the best way to do it. Now that's with the RBC personal cross-border account. If you use the RBC business cross-border account, which I use, it is quite a bit more expensive, but it's still definitely worth it. This one costs $200 US just to set up, and then you need a minimum balance to open it of $1,000 US, and the fees are $150 US per month. So obviously, if you're just starting out, don't incorporate right away. It's not worth it. Plus, the banking fees are gonna eat your profits when you start. So when you do get to a point where you should incorporate, then just switch to a business cross-border account because you don't want to run business activities in a personal account, right? So yeah, that's the way to get paid in US dollars in Canada. There might be other ways using Payoneer and all these services, but I think the transaction fees they take are still not worth what you actually pay in fees with your cross-border account. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and if you guys have any questions, just comment below and I'll answer as fast as I can. So hope it helps, and you guys have a good one.